Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a group of panelists discuss how traditional food items on the household menu might be impacting the lives of Eastern Kentuckians. And the organizers of an upcoming show in Floyd County seeks to help children in need here in our region.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:32 on this Wednesday morning. I'm Keaton Hall, and it's starting to look like a nice morning out there, isn't it, Brandon?
Exactly. So we're going to see the forecast start to improve pretty quick as we head through the daytime hours. Temperature should climb fairly quickly. A little bit of fog out there this morning. I was kind of looking at this camera, and you can kind of see it off in the distance there in Pikeville. So we may be seeing fog and not as much cloud cover as we expected this morning. So just kind of keep that in mind, and we'll keep you posted on that. So again, temperatures all over the place this morning, but not terrible. Basically from the upper 40s to the mid 60s out there. 48 Grundy and in Jonesville to about 65 in Monticello and Prestonsburg. So not a terrible forecast out there this morning. Temperature difference from this time yesterday, it's the tale of two skies. 14 degrees warmer in Moorhead, but 2 degrees colder in Harlan and Jonesville. So again, what a difference a day makes. 80 this afternoon, back and forth with sun and clouds. Scattered chances for showers and storms will pick up a little bit later today as well. Keaton?
Thank you, Brandon. Food is intertwined with Appalachian culture, whether it's biscuits and gravy or chicken and dumplings. Food has a rich history in our area, but experts say it might be one of the reasons why the life expectancy for many in Eastern Kentucky is nearly 8 years shorter than that of others throughout the country. WYMT's Madison Carmouche was at a Shaping Our Appalachian Region board meeting yesterday as experts explained how the region's history might be impacting its future.
The challenges Eastern Kentuckians face are often the result of not having solutions for other challenges. This is the case with life expectancy. Of the 54 counties which make up Eastern Kentucky, several areas have a life expectancy as low as 69 years old. This is compared to the nation's life expectancy of 77 years old. Experts say access to medical care is one factor. CEO of Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky, Barry Martin, says that is why their facility is so important to East Kentuckians.
Our goal is to be able to kind of be almost like a one-stop shop.
Shaping Our Appalachian Region, or SOAR, is working from several angles to improve the quality of life for Eastern Kentuckians, especially when it comes to medical improvements.
Some of the health challenges that we have, as you heard in there today, were complicated and multi-layered, and there's really no easy answers.
SOAR hosted a panel of doctors, Board of Health, and fitness experts to talk about the challenges of diabetes and obesity in the region.
Things like that in here, it's gravy, it's biscuits, it's a lot of grease, a lot of lard, things like that. Those are things that have been staples of our diet, especially in the coal mining industry. You'd bulk up for a good day's work. So those are the kind of things that they would eat. And we've passed that down to this generation, but the activity levels are not the same as they were when we had hard manual labor and you walked everywhere.
The goal is not to erase the food culture here, but to educate people so that they make better food choices.
I don't think that anybody here would expect, we can't lose the good parts to that culture, but at the same time, like anything else, we have to look and say, are there modifications, are there tweaks that we can make?
The solution is not easy, but experts say it is needed to extend and improve the lives of Eastern Kentuckians. In Perry County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
The 2023 SOAR Summit will be hosted in Corbin later this year. The deadline to register for that is August 21st. An upcoming show at the Mountain Arts Center is all about helping children in need. Drake Milligan is set to hit the Prestonsburg facility next Friday. The 25-year-old musician is called the new Elvis of country, having played the King in a couple of acting roles. Now he's bringing his sound, which has been on America's Got Talent and American Idol, to the Star City, working with Hillbilly Christmas in July to raise money for the Shriners Hospital for Children.
Good concert, good family fun, good entertainment, and no better cause than to help the Shriners Hospital and what people don't realize there's so many kids in this area that go to the Lexington Shriners Hospital. Just around the surrounding counties of Pike County, we have over 1,100 active patients.
Concert is set to hit the MAC stage next Friday, June 23rd at 7 p.m. Tickets are available now. June is Men's Health Month. I was able to talk with the doctor about some of the challenges and options men have for their physical and mental health. June is Men's Health Month, a time to encourage men to take charge of their health.
As long as we're staying on top of the screening exams, talking about their mental health, and then diet and exercising, I think those are the big things we try to hit.
Dr. Profit with Primary Care Center in Hazard says dealing with mental health can be especially serious for men.
Mental health, I think that's a big one. You know, anxiety, depression, things like that. And sometimes men try to put on the you know, a different face and just get through it. So I feel like that's something that you have to address.
Dr. Profit says exercise can help with not only your physical health, but your mental health as well.
You know, lowering your A1C, diabetes, staying active is just definitely going to do that. And that's something we see a lot around here is diabetes. So staying active helps that. Mental health, I mean, it's going to help anxiety, depression.
But it's often not as simple as just lifting weights or going for a walk. Mental health issues can lead to a lack of motivation.
Motivation is a big thing, and like I mentioned, I mean, mental health, you have to stay on top of that, because that can cause just decreasing compliance of diet and exercise. So
Dr. Profit recommends getting contact with the gym or physical therapist to help you get motivated and staying up to date on visits with your clinician. Dr. Profit also says this week is a great time to get active outdoors thanks to some comfortable weather. We are in the height of tick season, though, which just so happens to also be the time of year when people are spending a lot of their time outside enjoying the weather. Dr. Jonathan Larson is an extension entomologist at the University of Kentucky. He says the black-legged tick is the carrier of Lyme disease. The Lone Star tick carries the red meat allergy. The American dog tick carries Rocky Mountain spotted fever, which is the #1 tick-borne illness in the state.
It feels kind of like a flu. Many people will experience a red rash on their hands and on their feet. It can be fatal if it's left untreated, and it often knocks people out for about a week to 10 days.
Dr. Larson says it's important to note that not all ticks are infected, and that if it has not fed off of you, you are not at risk of disease transmission. If you're not too nervous about encountering ticks when you venture outside, Raven Rock Golf Course in Letcher County is welcoming golfers again after losing its clubhouse and the Pine restaurant in a fire. The fire happened more than 1 week ago. An investigation was launched into what caused it, but officials still have no answers. Although this situation may have a negative impact on the local economy, no employees were laid off following the blaze.
Golf courses aren't a very profitable business. It's definitely a labor of love. So to have this course in our community is a big deal, and I want to make no qualms about that. I want to make that very clear that we are reopening. And when I say we, I mean the collective we in Letcher County. We've been through the flood, we've been through a fire, we're going to reopen. We're not losing our assets.
Pine Mountain Partnership Executive Director Jeffrey Justice says the golf course's owners plan to build a new clubhouse with hopes of opening in the spring of 2024.
6:40 here on this Wednesday morning. UVA-wise, looking pretty good over that way. Some sunshine in the distance there, just a few clouds, maybe a touch of fog. 54 right in the middle of 240s. 48 in Jonesville, 48 Grundy. Clint was like, I'm not getting up this morning. I'm just going to stay asleep. We're seeing 60s up to the north, Prestonsburg and Monticello, both at 65. That's our warmest spots. 59 here in Hazard, 63 in Pikeville, 61 London, 63 Irvin, 64 in Moorhead as you start your day out the door forecast. We are going to see temperatures climb to the 80-degree range, and we'll see some chances for some scattered showers and storms a little bit later on. Not an all-day washout, widely scattered, but they will be out there as we hit the heat of the day just a little bit later on. Keaton?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Blood centers nationwide work to recruit a new generation of blood donors as they continue to see shorter lines.